So there are 7 fundamental quantities, and fundamental quantities होती हैं कौन-कौन सी? I know that everybody knows, but just for the sake of completeness, अगर किसी को भूल गए हो या मिस हो गया है, then we will be revising this also. There are 7 fundamental quantities: mass, length, time, temperature. अबे
Yes sir.
अबे बोर्ड कैंसिल हो गया, अच्छा हुआ कि खराब हुआ?
चलो मेरे लिए तो अच्छा हुआ.
ओके, नहीं सभी के लिए अच्छा हुआ, स्पेशली जेई पे आप फोकस कर सकते हो, बट ओनली व्हेन यू यूज दैट टाइम वेल. बहुत सारे बच्चों ने अभी अज्यूम कर लिया है कि नहीं अब पढ़ना नहीं है. 7th is amount of substance. यूज दिस टाइम वेल, क्योंकि ये टाइम इज कमोडिटी जो सबको नहीं मिलती, आप लोगों को मिल रही है. सो यू गाइस आर लकी. मेरे बोर्ड एग्जाम के 2 दिन बाद जेई का पेपर था. 2 days after I couldn't. Yes.
सर बिट सेट के लिए मॉक्स होंगे?
यस बेटा, यस. बिट सेट के लिए भी मैं बता देता हूँ. हमारा एक दूसरा पोर्टल है which is 100plus.imbibe.com. Those who have filled the form, आपको अपना बस डिटेल मुझे शेयर करनी है. 100plus.imbibe.com. इसमें जेई मेंस के लिए मैंने 10 पेपर अपलोड कर दिए. इस पे आपका पोर्टल क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा, and we will see if there is any nominal charge because it is a third party research app. This app is backed by NTA only, the same national testing agency who does prepare the paper for JEE mains. I mean, the question bank is same as informed to me, and there is a BitSat also, and there is a NEET also. This is our own app, our own portal. I will be selecting question here, and these questions have been selected by the NTA and based on some. So इसमें BitSat के बेटा पेपर डाल दिए हैं मैंने, मतलब डलवा दिए हैं, as you can say. So since BitSat is not a level wise at all a different paper, if you have prepared for the JEE mains level or prepared for the board level, NEET level, BitSat is quite below to that level wise and question difficulty wise. But the paper pattern is quite challenging, the time is quite less, so it is a speed versus accuracy, which you can improve only by practicing more and more tests. You get around 45 to 50 seconds for one question if you attempt the whole in the BitSat. That is the major challenge in the BITS paper. Right, so BitSat, I mean, no new information is required. कुछ थोड़ी बहुत सी चीजें हैं जो जेई के सिलेबस में नहीं है, but yes, they are in the BitSat syllabus. Theoretical things जो आपने NCERT में पढ़ी हैं. Hopefully, if you have covered the whole syllabus, not with the 30% reduction, तो वो सारी चीजें आपको कवर हो जाएंगी. बिट्स के लिए कोई और कुछ अगर ऐसा होता है, नया आपको कुछ टॉपिक मिलता है उन टेस्ट पेपर्स में, then we will be including in this part this test and discussion. And similarly, there is a paper for NEET also, and there is a paper in the prep door section also for the NEET chapter wise. So like I am teaching dimension today, by the next day, before the next class, on this, I will upload the paper of dimension analysis and errors. Likewise, so that has to be done with the class itself. And then once a week, this test paper is the bigger one, which will be 3 hours. It will be 3 hours as per the test paper pattern, the Sunday test. For this chemistry math, irrespective of whether you have enrolled for all subjects or not, you have to appear in this mock test for 3 hours long, so that your understanding and your performance level is also judged. Yes, any other query, any other doubt, anyone? Feel free to ask, completely free if you want any.
Sir, the 3-hour test will be for PCB subject as well? I mean, for biology students also?
For NEET, it will be complete PCB, but I don't guarantee that the question will be only from NCERT, as some students and some teachers become touchy that this question is not in NCERT. So in the previous NEET papers, out of 94 to 5 questions have been out of NCERT syllabus in 2018, 2019, frog and all. So yes, this paper will be for PCB, 3 hour long, means it will be PCB for NEET and PCM for the Sunday test, and the chapter wise test that will be separately given by the teacher. So if chemistry teacher wants, he will give his own topic only, and he doesn't want, he will not give. Once the topic is finished, only then it will be given. But the Sunday test will be for JEE mains as well as NEET. There are two sections. When you log into that, there is an option to choose engineering or medical. So when you go to your respective section, you will find the paper for your own exam.
All right, sir.
Okay, so let's start. Yes, quickly, because we have a lot to cover in the dimension. There are 7 fundamental quantities. To measure them, we require a standard unit. Unit is a reference. Unit is a reference which is used for the measurement, but there are many unit systems. So that's why one more formula is given to the fundamental quantities or to the physical quantities called as dimensional formula. SI unit for mass is kg and length is meter, time is second. Quickly, I'm just giving it, I know all of you know, but thoda just for the sake of starting, we cannot do directly from the question. Electric current is ampere, luminous intensity is candela, and amount of substance is mole. All these quantities can be in some other unit also. Mass can be gram, quintal, ton. So that's why one dimensional formula is attached. M, capital L. It is always written in the capital bracket. T, Kelvin, K, temperature, ampere A, candela is CD, amount of substance mole. So dimensional formula represented which fundamental quantity has been used. Fundamental means they should not be related to each other. They should not be related to each other, and all the other quantities have been designed using these quantities only. If they are independent of each other, which is the word fundamental mean, then why there are these two as a separate quantity? One is mass, another is amount of substance. This is a little confusing because mass की definition क्या होती है? It is the quantity of matter or amount of matter present in a body. But one is at the microscopic scale. जब हम amount of substance measure करते हैं, then we go into the microscopic level. हम उसके मास में इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है, हम इंटरेस्टेड हैं कितने उसके अंदर एटम्स हैं, कितने उसके अंदर आयंस हैं, कितने उसके अंदर मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं. सो दिस अमाउंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस है माइक्रोस्कोपिक प्रॉपर्टी. और ये ऊपर वाला जो मास है, ये ऊपर से देखते हैं कितना फोर्स लगता है बाय एनी अदर मास बॉडी, दैट इज कॉल्ड बल्क प्रॉपर्टी. जैसे 1 kg वाटर एंड 1 kg आयरन ब्लॉक हैज सेम मास बट डिफरेंट अमाउंट ऑफ सब्सटेंस. ये 7 फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटीज चाहिए. इसके अलावा 2 सप्लीमेंट्री और सब फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटीज चाहिए हमें रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए, किसी भी नई क्वांटिटी को डिफाइन करने के लिए. What are those supplementary quantities? Why they are called supplementary and not included fundamental? Because they are dimensionless. First is plane angle. Angle is defined as, angle जो अभी तक हम use करते थे is the same angle. Angle is formed by an arc length to the radius. The ratio of arc length to the radius is defined as angle. और दोनों सेम यूनिट में होंगे. आर्क लेंथ भी लेंथ है और रेडियस will not be any dimension. Dimensionless quantities की dimension हम लिखते हैं as m0, l0, t0. Though it does not have a dimension, so ideally it should not have unit also, क्योंकि हम unit बनाते हैं dimension से ही, but इस unit को as radian. SI unit for measurement is radian. So अगर ये S मीटर में है और radius मीटर में है, they both will be they cancel out and it will be in radian. So if it is 1 and 1, it does not come 1 degree, it is 1 radian. और radian को degree में convert करने के लिए हम relation कैसे निकालते हैं? By the total angle at the center of circle. Circle के center पे अगर हम angle निकालते हैं इस formula से, total length of arc is total circumference, which is 2 pi r divided by r. So that become 2 pi radian. My handwriting is not very good, कुछ समझ में ना आया तो पूछ लेना. 2 pi radian का मतलब हो गया 360 degree, because this in degree is 360. So that will be pi radian is 180 degree. When you convert this degree into radian or radian into degree, this is the conversion factor. 60 degree pi by 3. All of you know. Second one is the solid angle. Solid angle means the angle formed by an area to a certain point. हम किसी भी area को हर तरफ से join कर लें to a certain point. This is an area. Each point of this area is joined to certain point on this. So with the point, the angle that is formed by an area to a certain point. So it will be a 3D angle. ये कुछ ऐसे होगा जैसे vertex of a cone. Radius is r. This angle is represented by omega, same symbol that we use for resistance, ohm. Area to radius square, ratio of area to radius square is defined as solid angle. ऊपर भी मीटर स्क्वायर नीचे भी मीटर स्क्वायर, again it get cancelled, so again it should not have any dimension. It's a dimensionless quantity and its SI unit is taken as steradian. So these are the 7 fundamental and 2 supplementary quantities which are used for measurement. Solid angle को हम use करते हैं generally 3 dimension में measure करने के लिए, और plane angle is used for 2D only. Right? So other units for angle के लिए एक तो था degree और radian. So 1 degree is pi by 180 radian, and there are smaller angles for measurement like 1 minute. 1 degree is 60 minutes and 1 minute is 60 seconds. These are the smaller angles which is used for movement of planets or the location of GPS coordinate, latitude and longitude on the earth. We use degree, minute and second to know the precise location of a latitude or longitude. So ये fundamental quantities और 2 supplementary quantities, इनको use करके हम बाकी सारी quantities बनाते हैं. उसकी हम dimension calculate कर सकते हैं by using any formula. Once we have the dimension, we can use that dimension for different purpose. So derived quantities are those quantities which are, I will share this PDF so you don't need to write. Don't worry if you are not able to write with my speed, it's okay. I will share this PDF also to all of you. This is में ऐसा कुछ खास है नहीं, but still for you to refer, I will share this PDF also. Derived quantities जो fundamental quantities से मिलके बनती हैं, जैसे for example force is mass into acceleration. So हम इसके dimension किसी भी formula से निकाल सकते हैं. And once we have the dimension, we can write its SI unit. Mass is kg, length is meter, time is second square, and the same is called Newton. So ऐसे questions हैं, but जो question exam में आते हैं, obviously those will not be as easy as this seems. उसमें क्या करते हैं हम? We change the fundamental quantities itself. अभी mass, length और time है fundamental quantity. Suppose it says the fundamental quantity is taken as energy, velocity, and time. So in this new set of fundamental quantities, in the new system of measurement, we can use the dimension analysis, or we can use dimension for different purpose. पहला तो क्या होता है, फर्स्ट एप्लीकेशन ऑफ डायमेंशन, हम किसी भी इक्वेशन को चेक कर सकते हैं वो इक्वेशन चेक करेक्ट है या नहीं है, टू चेक द होमोजेनिटी ऑफ इक्वेशन. I will take the example, and through example we'll understand homogeneity of equation. If any equation is homogeneous, means उसका left hand side, right hand side, it should be same thing, right? So homogeneous के लिए, homogeneous मतलब it should be representing the same quantities. अगर हम add कर रहे हैं, अगर हम subtract कर रहे हैं, अगर हम equate कर रहे हैं, greater than, less than, inequate कर रहे हैं, all such things, A and B must have same dimension. Only then they can be added, subtracted, equated, inequated. और इसको solve करने के बाद जो result भी आएगा, अगर ये दोनों velocity है तो x भी velocity होगी. A minus B will also be x. So for addition, subtraction, equation, inequation, all these 3 quantities A, B और solve करने पे जो आएगा x must have same dimension. Only then this equation is a homogeneous equation. Correct or not, that we don't know. We can just find out whether this equation is dimensionally consistent or not. Dimensional consistency means it should be representing the same quantity. We cannot add energy to force. We cannot add force to a mass. पहला rule था ये, addition, subtraction, and second rule is that when we have mathematical functions, in any mathematical functions like sin, cos, tan, log, mathematical functions number पे define होते हैं, sin x, cos x, tan x, log x, e to the power x, etc. Mathematical functions are defined only for number. Mathematical functions are defined for numbers only. So x must be a dimensionless quantity. साइन के अंदर एंगल होगा, वो भी डायमेंशनलेस है. लॉग भी किसी नंबर का लेते हैं, e to the power any number to the power 2x. So powers should be dimensionless, are defined for numbers only. Hence x must be dimensionless. x dimensionless होना चाहिए, और सॉल्व करने के बाद जो रिजल्ट मिलेगा that will also be dimensionless. This 2 cube, result will be 8, that will also be dimensionless, that will also be a number. और sin 30 is half, that is also dimension. तो पहली इक्वेशन फर्स्ट यूजेस, हम किसी भी इक्वेशन की होमोजेनिटी चेक कर सकते हैं. कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में ये किस तरह हेल्प करता है. सपोज क्वेश्चन सेज व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग हैज इज द एंगुलर वेलोसिटी. किसी क्वेश्चन में एंगुलर वेलोसिटी निकालना है एंड वी हैव 4 ऑप्शन. एंगुलर वेलोसिटी कौन सा हो सकता है, वैसे तो अब स्मार्ट हो गए लोग, एग्जामिनर भी. एंगुलर वेलोसिटी इज थीटा अपॉन टी, थीटा का कोई डायमेंशन नहीं होता, सो एंगुलर वेलोसिटी शुड बी t-1. ऐसा पहले चल जाता था. हम चेक कर लेते थे इनमें से कौन से वाले ऑप्शन में डायमेंशन आ रहा है t-1. दिस इज द लास्ट ऑप्शन फॉर सॉल्विंग द क्वेश्चन. इसको ट्रिक बोलो या जुगाड़ बोलो. इन ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन सपोज यू हैव नो आइडिया हाउ टू सॉल्व दैट क्वेश्चन. क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग सो मैच द डायमेंशन. जो क्वेश्चन में पूछा है उसका डायमेंशन कौन से ऑप्शन से मैच करा. 50-50 भी हो गया तो भी आपकी प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ गेसिंग बढ़ जाती है, बट आई डोंट अलाउ द गेस वर्क. ऐसा नहीं करना होता है. दिस इज जस्ट suggestion given by some of the teachers. Competitive exam is all about accuracy. If you are solving 50% and you score 50% correctly, your rank will be much better. Okay, that we will see later on. कि हमें paper attempt कैसे करना होता है and how to balance between these two things, speed versus accuracy and all. So homogeneity principle क्या बोलता है? Addition, subtraction, equation, inequation के लिए same dimension होना चाहिए. Multiplication या division में ऐसी कोई restriction नहीं है. Second is all mathematical functions are numbers and result also will be dimensionless. So जिस number पर हम define करें वो dimensionless होना चाहिए, और solve करने के बाद जो आएगा result that will also be a dimensionless quantity. Example, suppose pressure is defined as P is equal to alpha upon beta e to the power minus beta into y square, where y is the height. Y is the height above the ground or above the sea level. Find the dimension of alpha and beta. This course will help much if you revise the class 11 notes. जो भी आपने किया हो, whatever XYZ, school notes, Celeroda, NCERT, whatever you have, एक बार पुरानी कुछ यादें ताजा हो जाएंगी, then it will be much better. और ये कुछ नया सा नहीं लगेगा क्योंकि हमने काफी पहले पढ़ रखा था 11th में, so you might have forgotten. Pressure is alpha by beta e raised to power minus beta y square. Y is the height. हमें y की डायमेंशन पता है, and this is a mathematical function. E to the power something is mathematical function. So numbers, power में हमेशा numbers होते हैं, which means beta into y square must be dimensionless. Powers, number, mathematical functions always must be dimensionless. Beta का dimension y square, only then this will become dimensionless. So which means the dimension of beta will be dimension of 1 by y square. Since y is height is length only, so then it becomes 1 upon L square. So we get the dimension of beta by using that mathematical function logic. Beta dimension should be 1 upon y square. Y is the height, so it will become L to the power minus 2. And once we have the dimension of beta, again with this fact, mathematical function को solve करने पे भी number मिलता है. So this whole quantity is dimensionless. बचा केवल alpha by beta. Alpha by beta का dimension pressure के equal होना चाहिए by using again the mathematical function logic. Okay, question was that pressure is alpha by beta e to the power minus beta y square. Y is the height. E is a function. E क्या होता है वैसे? What is the value of E? E is a exponential constant.
सर 2.7 कुछ होता है.
हाँ बेटा, very good. 2.716. Absolutely. E is called exponential number, exponential constant. 2.161432 is exponential constant or exponential number. तो ये नंबर है, जैसे 2 raised to power लिखा था वैसे ये भी एक नंबर का ही पावर है. Powers are always dimensionless, so beta into y square dimensionless होना चाहिए. ये डायमेंशनलेस होने के लिए बीटा का डायमेंशन y स्क्वायर का इनवर्स होना चाहिए. Y was the height, so it become L to the power minus 2. And now by using the homogeneity principle, हम equate कर रहे हैं pressure को alpha by beta से. So P should be equal to dimension of alpha divided by dimension of beta by homogeneity. Left hand side, right hand side must have same dimension. So the dimension of alpha should be dimension of pressure into dimension of beta. Pressure का dimension force upon area, force is ml. Dimension कैसे निकालते हैं वो सबको पता ही होगा शायद. आप एक बार पुराने जो भी किया आपने 11th में, whatsoever you have done in 11th, वो कहीं ना कहीं दिमाग में पड़ा होता है. So that's why I'm saying that you have to just quickly scan through that before all the classes, ताकि जो basic formulas हैं वो एक बार recall हो जाए. ml minus 1 t minus 2, so that is the pressure. ml minus 1 t minus 2 और बीटा को हमने कैलकुलेट किया, that is L minus 2, so ml minus 3 t minus 2. That's the dimension of alpha and dimension of beta is L to the power minus 2. Dimension के questions आते हैं mostly every year. The questions are asked from the dimension part or from the error part. So this chapter has at least one question in all the exam. One question means 4 marks, and 4 marks means in the percentile jump of at least 5 percentile. Okay, in the lower side, if you are 70, then 70 can become 75 just by scoring 4 more marks. Okay, so let's do a few questions from this sheet. So the error one, the wait. Okay. So since we have done the whole physics as such, 11th and 12th, no formula should be new for you. So yeah, let's start with this one. Question number 8. I will include this question in that PDF also, but you can start solving question number 5. Question number 8. If an unknown quantity phi is equal to ma by alpha log 1 plus alpha L by ma. M is given as mass, A is given as acceleration, L is given as length, then find the dimension of phi. Question number 8 I am asking. I will put this question there also, but till then you can start solving on your own. Yeah. This PDF will be shared to you for the. Now you focus only on the understanding and solving, because through these questions only we are learning. अभी कुछ बुक पढ़ने का या सच कोई चांस नहीं है और फायदा भी नहीं है. Yeah, if a known quantity phi is equal to ma by alpha log of 1 plus al by ma. Phi का dimension हमें पता करना है. M is known, okay, A is known, acceleration, but alpha is not known. ये तो हमें पता है कि log will be a number, so this whole is dimensionless. Quite sure. Log is a mathematical function. Mathematical functions के अंदर जो है वो भी dimensionless होना चाहिए और log को solve करने के बाद जो आएगा वो भी dimensionless. So dimension of phi will be dimension of ma by alpha. अब m, a और alpha को हम निकाल के भी कर सकते हैं या फिर दूसरा तरीका जो log के अंदर लिखा हुआ है log 1 plus alpha L divided by ma. Since it is a mathematical function, तो अंदर जो भी चीजें हैं वो number होनी चाहिए. Number is dimensionless, which means alpha L और ma के dimension cancel out हो जाने चाहिए. When they cancel out, then only it can be added to number. So from here, ma by alpha, what is that? Is equal to L. ma by alpha का dimension आ गया L. So the dimension of phi will be m0 L T0, which is the third option. Any mathematical function is defined on numbers. Number पे numbers की dimension नहीं होती. So log के अंदर जो लिखा है वो that should not be dimensionless. Even if it is not written 1 plus directly लिखा होता log of alpha L by ma, then also we would use the same thing. Numbers dimensionless होने चाहिए, इसलिए alpha L का dimension ma के dimension से cancel out. These two must cancel out each other. MA by alpha dimension must be equal to dimension of L. और हमें MA by alpha का ही dimension निकालना था because log is. Understood this question, Joy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Next question. इसी क्वेश्चन में डाउट हो आप पूछ लेना, अभी नहीं तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में पूछ लेना if you are still not clear with it. अब जैसे क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 देखते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 में क्या है, थोड़ा सा लोचा. इसमें जो फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटी है, दैट क्वांटिटी इटसेल्फ इज चेंज्ड. हमने जो फंडामेंटल क्वांटिटी पढ़ी है वो MLT और एम्पियर पढ़ा था A, बट हियर यू कैन सी it's given as C as in coulomb. Coulomb होता है चार्ज के लिए, and charge is not a fundamental quantity. Charge is not considered as a fundamental quantity, but still in the question sometimes it is asked in the new set of fundamental quantities. Like here, the dimension of magnetic field in M, L, T and C. So पहले तो हम magnetic field को calculate करेंगे in terms of magnetic field. मैग्नेटिक फील्ड का डायमेंशन कैलकुलेट करने के लिए हमें मैग्नेटिक फील्ड से रिलेटेड कोई फॉर्मूला चाहिए. सो लेट्स टेक मैग्नेटिक फील्ड का. वैसे तो चार्ज से रिलेटेड भी फॉर्मूला है, बट स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मूला था कुछ. फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन अ करंट कैरिंग वायर इज BIL sin थीटा. sin थीटा तो हो गया 90. सो B इज F by I into L. बट हमें यहाँ पे करंट नहीं चाहिए, हमें यहाँ पे चार्ज चाहिए. करंट इज चार्ज पर यूनिट टाइम. So we will replace this I as Q by T. Ft divided by Q times L. Since this quantity was not current, this quantity was charge, we have to change this into the new set of fundamental quantity which is Q. अभी dimension लिखोगे. फोर्स का डायमेंशन होता है MLT minus 2. एक T और आ गया ऊपर T. नीचे Q is written as C and L is, ये फॉर्मूला आता है ना सभी को. मैग्नेटिक फोर्स ऑब्वियसली 12th के पेपर देने जा रहे थे, आता ही होगा. BIL sin theta. Now L gone. It becomes MT minus 1 C minus 1. MT minus 1 C minus 1. Answer is C. So when question is asked, you will also have to see whether the fundamental quantities are same or not. So in this question, it was mentioned that C is coulomb. Sometimes mentioned, you will have to change to that fundamental quantity. You have to change the formula in terms of that. Clear this question?
Yes, sir.
Next. So I'm taking few questions which will be related. Okay, now there are some tricky questions. For example, question number 4 and 5. Let's take 4. अब अगर हमें 4 का डायमेंशन कैलकुलेट करना है, there are two ways. एक तो है कुछ लंबा सा, हम इसको डायरेक्टली कैलकुलेट करें. C is dimension. The usual symbols have their usual notification. Like C is capacitance, V is potential, L is inductance, and I is current. Can anyone tell orally what will be the dimension of this? Aryan? L here is inductance, I is the current, C is capacitance, and V is the voltage. All of you knows this notification.
इसका आंसर B है.
आंसर भी है. सिंपल. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर हम अलग अलग निकालेंगे तब तो कुछ खतरनाक सा हो जाएगा. बट वी नो दैट the energy stored in capacitor, electrical field energy stored in capacitor is half CV square. Energy stored in magnetic field is half Li square. दोनों एनर्जी है, so दोनों का डायमेंशन कैंसिल आउट हो जाएंगे. इट विल बिकम M0 L0 T0. ऐसे कुछ फॉर्मूलेज, स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मूलेज याद करके हम डायमेंशन को डायरेक्टली, जैसे टाइम कांस्टेंट का फॉर्मूला था, स्पीड ऑफ लाइट का फॉर्मूला होता है. स्पीड ऑफ लाइट इज expressed, or speed of any EM wave is expressed in terms of its electromagnetic property, root of mu naught into epsilon naught. इसी दूसरे मीडियम में जाएंगे तो ये आपने EM wave में पढ़ा है. This mu naught will become mu, epsilon naught will become epsilon. So from this formula we can calculate also mu naught epsilon naught dimension. Next is question number 4. clear? ये दोनों एनर्जी का फॉर्मूला था, so हम बस ऊपर नीचे हाफ से मल्टीप्लाई कर दें. It will become energy stored in capacitor, energy stored in magnetic field and inductor. Both formulas are representing energy only. Energy by energy cancels out. Dimensionless. Dimensionless means M0, L0 and T0. 8. Aryan,
Yes, sir. Yes.
how are you?
Fine.
All well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. ठीक है, so हम थोड़े से अभी और tricky type के questions देखते हैं. वैसे तो dimension question number 18. I'll take this again out from here. Question number 18 and question number 19. Question number 18 says if x is equal to 3y into z square, z has a dimension of capacitance and magnetic induction. किसी क्वेश्चन में किसी को भी डाउट हो, any new kid also, new student also, don't feel any kind of hesitation. This course हमें जल्दी कुछ नहीं है, slowly पढ़ेंगे, but अभी जितना पढ़ना है that should be 100% solid. कि आप एग्जाम में एटलीस्ट सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस को कर पाओ. Yes, so question number 18 in the formula x is equal to 3y into z square. It says that x has a dimension of capacitance. X has a dimension of capacitance and z has a dimension of magnetic induction is nothing but magnetic field only. हम capacitance का dimension निकालें, लेकिन हमें किस system में निकालना है? Check. It is asking in MKSQ. What is Q? What is Q? For charge. So again, we will not use the current, we will use the charge here. Capacitance and so capacitance के लिए क्या लगाएंगे formula? Capacitance is charge to potential ratio and potential is work done per unit charge, so that become Q square by W. This is the capacitance. We have to find the dimension of y. So dimension of y will be equal to dimension of x divided by dimension of z square. So x का जो dimension है वो आ गया q square divided by work done is ml2 t minus 2. भी as it is रखते हैं. Z is magnetic field. Magnetic field को अभी हम पीछे निकाल चुके हैं वैसे. F is equal to F upon I into L and I become Q by T. So Ft upon QL. This is a dimension that we just calculated in the last question. Ft upon QL. So it will be mt minus 1 C minus 1. It become mt minus 1. I'm using this because in the last question we did. So C here is Q actually. X पता है हमें, Y पता है. Substitute in this Y. Sorry, Z. हमें x पता है और z पता है, then we can find out the dimension of y as dimension of x by dimension of z square. So question में आपको बस वो system जो है वो नया पता करना है, कौन सा वाला system है. If it is MKS system or a new system, we'll substitute and check what is the formula, what is the answer. Question number 19. इसका आंसर क्या आएगा वैसे? By the way, this is m minus 1 L minus 2 T2 into Q2 divided by m square T minus 2 Q minus 2. इसका तो नॉट सा m minus 3 L minus 2 T4 and Q4. Answer is B. Question number 19. This is formula for what? किसका formula होता है ये? Half epsilon naught E square.
Energy density.
Energy density.
Electrical energy density. So this is the electrical energy density. ऐसे अलग अलग निकालोगे तो epsilon naught के लिए निकालना पड़ेगा अलग, E के लिए अलग. Energy density is energy stored per unit volume. So we'll find out energy divided by volume. Energy is ml2 T minus 2 divided by L cube. So m L minus 1 T minus 2. ml minus 1 T minus 2 C is the option. Right. ओके, सो ये तो फर्स्ट एप्लीकेशन हो गया. किसी भी क्वेश्चन में एक दो जेई के क्वेश्चन भी देख लेते हैं. प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द डायमेंशन पार्ट. from the dimension analysis. First was, okay, JEE Main 2013, first question. Epsilon naught denotes the dimension formula of permittivity of vacuum. If M is mass, length, time, and A is electric current, then. As you can see, the second question, ये third dimension of active field, this is asked in IIEEE is now renamed as JEE Mains, by the way. So अगर यहाँ IIEEE लिखा हुआ है वो JEE Mains और NEET का भी level almost same ही है. So yes, question number 1 and 2. Both this worksheet I will share this as a homework today. This one and this is same for the both. I mean, even if it is not written NEET there, don't worry, it is of the NEET standard only. Dimension of magnetic field is MLT and C. So this was actually asked in the exam. How to find this dimension. Okay. Then there is some error formulas. Error we will see it later on. Which of the present the correct dimension of cones? Okay. So this is only few questions that has been asked. Identify the pair which has dimension. So you can see the questions are very easy. Just you have to be little cautious while solving the question. Okay. I'll also show you the questions from okay, Rydberg constant power. Yeah, these type of questions are also asked. Question number 7 and 8. The pressure P of a gas in terms of time and distance is given as P is equal to A sine Bt plus B sine Ct. The dimension of A by B is same as dimension of B by C. Question number 7 I am talking about. Yes. Pressure P of a gas is given in terms of time and distance x as P is equal to A sine Bt. A sine Bt plus B sine Ct. No, it will be B sine. Okay. First option, the dimension of A by B is same as dimension of B by C. Is it correct? Vedika, is it correct? First one. What will be the dimension of A and B?
Dimensionless.
Capital A and capital B.
So A by B dimensionless होगा और B by C भी dimensionless होगा.
Yes, absolutely. But हमें आगे A, B और B and C के dimension में चाहिए. Vedika?
Yes, sir.
What will be the dimension of A in this equation? What will be the dimension of capital A?
B into B by C.
Capital A के dimension क्या होगा? देखो ये है sin is a number, numbers are dimensionless. बचा केवल A. Or similarly, sin Ct is a number, mathematical function. This is a number, dimensionless. So first thing that we are adding A to B. So A का dimension, capital A का dimension B के equal होना चाहिए. और हम equate किससे कर रहे हैं? What is it? Pressure. A और B दोनों का dimension pressure के equal होना चाहिए, which is force upon area. So it will be ML minus 1 T minus 2. Capital A and capital B both must have same dimension because जो उनके साथ प्रोडक्ट में है वो डायमेंशनलेस क्वांटिटी है. A और B दोनों के डायमेंशन सेम होने चाहिए ऐड करने के लिए, and it is equal to pressure, so their both dimension should be equal to the dimension of pressure. Ananya, what should be the dimension of B? Small b. Ananya? There?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
What is the
the
dimension of small b?
dimension of B. Okay, so
Small b.
because BT is like a dimensionless quantity, so B will be equal to to the power -1.
T to the power minus 1, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because sign of BT will be a number which is, yeah, okay, sure. Similarly, CD, I think it should be X, but anyways, if it is mentioned as T only, so it should be T
Yeah.
minus 1.
Mhm.
B by C is also dimensionless, A by B is also dimensionless, so they both must be of same dimension, M0, L0, and T. So option A is correct. Dimension of A is ML minus 1, T minus 2, correct? This is
Yeah,
also
because
correct.
of
Dimension of A and B is also same. Dimension of B and C is also same. So all are correct.
all are correct. Yeah.
Good. So next question. Okay, this is a little lengthy one, but I want you to do question number 4 or 5, any of the two. Uh, or let's say do both. Question number 4 and 5. Use your, if you remember some of the formula, I don't know, some of the formula from the modern physics, that will become easy. But those formulas we may not remember because वो थोड़े से lengthy थे, lengthy and tricky one. I am talking about the hydrogen atomic model. There were some formulas in which we have this type of me to the power 4 and all. Yes. M, E, epsilon naught, H, and C denote the mass of electron, charge of electron, Planck's constant, speed of light, etc. The dimension of. So if you don't know, no problem. We can find out this again. Each and every dimension you have to find out. Yes. Okay. I don't think so that anybody would remember. Even I am also not pretty much sure. So if we remember the Bohr's atomic model, Bohr's atomic model में पहली postulate क्या थी? Angular momentum MVR is NH upon 2 pi. And second was that the centripetal force is provided by the electrostatic force of attraction between the nucleus and the electron in the hydrogen atom. This is Bohr's atomic model for hydrogen. Now we can do directly also. It's not a problem. We can do directly also, but this seems somewhat familiar. Okay. mv square r is equal to e square upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Hmm. ठीक है. I think we should separately calculate it. It's better. यहाँ से आ तो जाएगा, but that will be unnecessary time consuming. So epsilon naught का और h और c dimension we have to calculate. Yes. ठीक है, आप ऐसे करो, मैं ऐसे करता हूँ. इसका अगर डिवाइड कर देंगे डायरेक्टली तो क्या होगा? इक्वेशन नंबर 1 का स्क्वायर करके इक्वेशन नंबर 2 से डिवाइड, then v square gone. This is if you remember those formulas, we can calculate from here. If you don't remember, don't need to take this approach. We can directly have the dimension of all these quantities divided by mv square r. ये ऊपर था m square v square r square, नीचे आ जाएगा m v square r, v square gone, m to m gone, r to r gone, n square h square upon 4 pi square E square by 4 pi epsilon naught. 4 pi gone. Left side में बचा था m into r. This you have to solve. Don't copy my calculation. M into r. Right side is n square epsilon naught h square upon
Option A, I suppose.
pi times e square. Option
Sir,
A.
option A.
Very good. हर्ष
Yes,
आपने
sir.
बोला ये? हाँ.
हाँ,
Okay.
मैंने बोला सर.
सर मैंने भी
लिखा. अच्छा, हाँ, good यार. सब नहीं किया. Very nice, very nice. So I was just trying the voice recognition in my. Okay, good, both of you. Right. So one approach is that we can directly put the m, e, epsilon, h, and c. Another, because this formula is linked with the energy of the electron in hydrogen atom. जो मुझे थोड़ा थोड़ा याद है, but I'm just confirming it for you. So यहाँ से हम radius निकाल लेते हैं. Radius of electron becomes n square epsilon naught h square upon pi m into e square. This is the radius. And when you calculate the energy, so mv square is mv square is 1 by e square upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. mv square is e square divided by 4 pi epsilon, और जो r की वैल्यू थी n square epsilon naught h square, और बाकी ऊपर आ जाएगा pi m e square. This is not the mandatory approach. Pi m into e square. राइट. सो ये क्या बन गया? ऊपर बन जाएगा कुछ पाई पाई गॉन, m e to the power 4, नीचे आ जाएगा ये 4 n स्क्वायर, तो कांस्टेंट ही है, एप्सिलॉन नॉट स्क्वायर टाइम्स h स्क्वायर. दिस इज इक्वल टू mv स्क्वायर. हाफ से मल्टीप्लाई कर दोगे तो ये 8 हो जाएगा, which means m e to the power 4 divided by epsilon naught into h square. इस पूरे का जो डायमेंशन है, दिस इज द डायमेंशन ऑफ काइनेटिक एनर्जी. m e to the power 4 divided by epsilon naught square times h square. बचा क्या यहाँ पे? hc. So it will be this whole number, me4 divided by epsilon naught square, me4 divided by epsilon naught square h cube सी था, उसमें से h square अलग कर लिया हमने. This becomes ये हमें कैलकुलेट करना है. m e to the power 4 upon epsilon naught h square has the dimension of energy. This is energy divided by hc, और energy होता है hc by lambda. So lambda will be, hc will be e times lambda. E gone, it is 1 upon lambda. Lambda is of wavelength, so it will be L minus 1. M0, L minus 1, T0. It is coming out to be D, by the way, for my calculation.
Yes, sir. D आ रहा है.
तो शायद ये बोला था तुमने.
नहीं सर, मैंने कहा था मेरा आ गया आंसर.
B. L minus 1, T minus 1.
Okay, I think the answer is D. Answer is D.
D.
1 upon lambda.
सर
Yes.
सर इस क्वेश्चन में ऐसे कर सकते हैं कि फोर्स का जो फॉर्मूला है कि Q1 Q2 अपॉन R स्क्वायर, इससे एप्सिलॉन की वैल्यू निकाल लेते
ना
हैं.
निकालेंगे एब्सोल्युटली. असली तरीका वही है. ये तरीका तो मैंने इसलिए से बताया बिकॉज इफ यू नो द फॉर्मूला, एनर्जी का फॉर्मूला जो होता था, energy of electron in nth orbit is minus z square n square m e to the power 4 epsilon naught square h square c. ये मुझे याद था, इसलिए this term is visible here. इसलिए मैंने इसको बोला. अगर आपको ये डायमेंशन के क्वेश्चन में करना यही होगा आपको कि हर एक को अलग अलग, बट सिंस दिस फॉर्मूला इज लिटिल लेंदी, आपको पहले एप्सिलॉन का निकालना पड़ेगा, h का निकालना पड़ेगा, c का निकालना पड़ेगा. सो इफ यू हैव दैट मेमोरी, सॉरी, if you have that memory that it is linked with the hydrogen atom, so यहाँ से directly m e to the power 4 divided by epsilon naught square h square, this has a dimension of energy. बचेगा केवल hc, और hc को हम energy to wavelength लिख सकते हैं by using the energy formula as hc by lambda.
सर
यस
सर लेकिन सी का अलग से क्यों निकालेंगे डायमेंशन? वो तो दिया हुआ है ना क्वेश्चन में, स्पीड ऑफ लाइट स्पीड।
अरे तो सी का नहीं, बाकी को तो निकालेंगे यार। एच का तो निकालेंगे, एप्सिलॉन का निकालेंगे,
हाँ
इन
सर
दोनों का
एच
डायमेंशन
तो उससे आ
करना।
जाएगा ना, एच सी बाय लैम्डा वाले उससे एनर्जी को
हाँ
एच सी
हाँ,
बाय।
वही कह रहा हूँ बेटा, वो थोड़ा सा लेंदी अप्रोच है। ये जो क्वेश्चन
जी
का,
सर।
इस क्वेश्चन में यहाँ पे पर्पस था, इफ यू रिमेम्बर दिस फॉर्मूला ऑफ एनर्जी ऑफ nth इलेक्ट्रॉन, तो ये क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली वन लाइन में हो जाएगा। दैट इज द मेथड बाय व्हिच दिस वाज सपोज्ड टू बी सॉल्व्ड, अदरवाइज इट विल बी रियल टाइम कंज्यूमिंग। ठीक है,
यस
you can both the method, only difference will be the time. If you remember that formula, then obviously you can solve it very quickly. Dimension का जो second dimension का second जो application होता है, that is to derive an expression of any unknown physical quantity. किसी भी नए formula को हम derive कर सकते हैं with the help of dimension, like this one. किसी भी क्वांटिटी के किसी भी नए फॉर्मूले को ड्राइव, न्यूटन ने बहुत सारे फॉर्मूले ड्राइव किए थे विद द हेल्प ऑफ डायमेंशन. If we figure out which quantities it depends on, then we will first assume a formula. And then accordingly we will use the dimension analysis. Okay, some unknown formula, some unknown quantity, इसका formula हमें पता नहीं है. We have to find out with the help of dimension. So पहला application तो था dimension का, that we can use dimension to check the consistency of an equation. Second is that we can use that dimension formula to derive an expression of new unknown physical quantity, like this one. A piston of mass m at rest enclosing a cavity of volume V is slightly displaced and released. A dimensionless quantity R known as adiabatic exponent of gas depends on the time period of oscillation of piston. अब ये जो R है वो कुछ CP by CV है, adiabatic exponent, but it is given that this is dimensionless और ये depend करती है as the time period of oscillation, time period of small oscillation of piston, mass of piston, cross section area of piston, and pressure as this. So T is R is equal to K. Here is some dimensionless constant, mass upon density to the power x, area to the power y, and time to the power z. So जब भी हमें कोई फॉर्मूला डिराइव करना होता है, हम उसको एक फॉर्मूला assume कर लेते हैं. We assume that this dimension, this adiabatic exponent depends upon, जो कि इस क्वेश्चन में गिवन है. So when we know that on which factor it depends, ये एक्सपेरिमेंट करके पता पड़ गया कि हमें मास पे, डेंसिटी पे, एरिया पे और टाइम पे डिपेंड करता है. Now we will use the dimensional approach because the equation is a consistent equation. Left hand side और right hand side के dimension same होने चाहिए. Left hand side is a dimensionless quantity. K is a numerical constant. Mass divided by density. Density is ml minus 3 to the power x. Area is L square to the power y, and time to the power z. So mm तो cancel ही हो गया. This becomes L to the power 3. L to the power 3x plus 2y, and t raised to power z. Compare the power on both the sides. Z should be 0 and 3x plus 2y should be 0. So now if you check the option, find the value of z, find the value of x. Oh, sorry. P here is pressure, it's not density. That's why we are getting some strange result. P here is pressure, it's not the density. I took it as density. Yeah, so the symbols you have to see carefully. It's not rho, it's P. So dimension of exponent is dimensionless. M0, L0, T0. K is a dimensionless quantity. Pressure is M. Sorry, mass is M. Pressure होता है M L minus 1 T minus 2 to the power x, L square to the power y, and T to the power z. Lx T to the power 2x, L to the power 2y t to the power z. L x plus 2y t to the power 2x plus z. M0, L0 and T0. Now compare. 2x plus z is equal to 0. X plus 2y is equal to 0. Okay. Yes.
Sir, wouldn't the power of m here be 1 minus x rather than be 0 on RHS?
Cancel out हो गया ना m और m.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
अगर केवल ऊपर m होता और नीचे power x, then it would have been.
Yes, sir. Clear.
So it becomes some indeterminate form. That's why there is a option given in everyone. Cannot be calculated. Find the value of y cannot be calculated. There are many possible answers. If we take x as x can have any value, let's say x equals to 1, y will become how much? Minus half. Z will become minus 2. One set of equation is this. This satisfies. So the value of x cannot be calculated. X के लिए तो आ जाएगा. The value of x cannot be calculated because x get cancelled out on both the sides. When x cannot be calculated, y also depends upon x, z also depends upon x. So the answer to all these three questions will be cannot be calculated, cannot be calculated. This is a very tricky type of question. ये समझ में आ रहा है क्यों calculate नहीं हो रहा है? Because there are three variables and equations are only two. One got cancelled out because of this formula that was given. So अगर ऐसा बोलते से कोई solution नहीं है, then that is wrong. There are infinitely many possible solutions. ये थोड़ा tricky type of question था language wise. हमें किसी भी question को जिसमें हमें formula derive करना होता है, we consider a formula in terms of 8x to the power x, powers y and power t to the power z. Then we write dimension on both the side and then compare the power x, y, z. So this was a tricky question. One exam I gave in which 19 questions थे maths में. 17 out of 19, the answer was none of these. I was got doubtful of my knowledge in that paper. So it happens in some of the exam that in this question, all three options will be cannot be determined. Okay, so let's do some formula for the, yeah, like this one, question number 9. In an experiment, Young's modulus of elasticity. तो ऐसे किसी भी फॉर्मूले को जिसके हमें वैल्यूज नहीं पता बट ये पता है कि वो कौन सी क्वांटिटी पे डिपेंड करता है. Young's modulus depends upon proportional to t to the power x, L to the power y, tau to the power z. Find the correct options. We have to compare. So this is the second application of dimension in which second application of dimension is that we will be using a formula. Left hand side, we first assume a formula and then left hand side, right hand side, dimension has to be equal. Young's modulus of elasticity is proportional to t to the power x, L to the power y, and tau to the power z. Proportionality हटाते हैं तो एक numerical constant आना चाहिए. This constant should not have any dimension. This constant should not have any dimension. Only then this works. Write the dimensional formula of Young's modulus should be t to the power x, L to the power y. L is the length and tau is torque. So I mean dimension. Young's modulus dimension is same as that of pressure because Young's modulus is stress by strain. Delta L by L change in length dimensionless हो जाएगा. So Young's modulus is same as the stress. Stress is same as the pressure. ML minus 1 T minus 2. ML minus 1 T minus 2. This is the dimension formula for Young's modulus. Left side में ये T to the power x आ गया. L to the power y. Torque is force into perpendicular distance, which will be same as the energy. ML2 T minus 2 to the power z. M to the power z, L to the power y plus 2z, t to the power x minus 2z. M1 L minus 1 t minus 2. Compare the powers on both the sides. We get z as 1. Compare the power. M power is z to the power 1. So z is 1. Then y plus 2z is equal to minus 1. Y will become minus 1 minus 2. So y is minus 3.
Answer x0.
X is
0.
x minus 2 is minus 2. So x will be 0. So this is the second application of dimension in which we compare the dimension on both the side, in which we have to compare the dimension on both the side and then compare the power, and we get the formula for unknown quantity. The only limitation of this method is that K must be a dimensionless constant. In the formula where the constant also has some unit, K must be dimensionless constant. It should be a numerical constant like a number. Like the Coulomb's law, gravitation law, that those type of formula cannot be derived because their constant also has its own dimension. Right? Okay. So there is one more application, which is the conversion of unit that we will do next class. I think 11:30 you have a maths class. This was today as a demo class, but obviously this part is very, very, very simple. So we will not cover it again. Yes, any doubt if you have, that we can do. That we can do in the coming class. Class timings will be again message to you, and we will form a WhatsApp group also and one group on the app also for the information. And these videos and PDF will be uploaded on the app. So there will be a combined group for physics, chemistry. For maths and bio, it will be different. Right? And today's homework will also be shared on the app, the same group. Fine? Okay. Yeah, wait, by mistake I got screen locked. Sure. So you can now join the maths class as a demo class. I will share this. I'll share this in the WhatsApp group that will be formed after the class today. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.